What's going on, everybody? It's GriimYT here. Today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new Excision album, Onyx. So what I'm going to be doing is, instead of the Temanite video where I will listen to each song and then talk about it at the end, I'm going to talk about my thoughts on each song right after I listen to it, so that way it's still like fresh in my mind and I still remember the song. And so yeah, basically I'm just going to go through each song after I'm done listening to it. I would put a little snippet of each song like I did in the Temanite video, but I don't want my video to get claimed or taken down. I want this review up because I'm so excited for this album. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first track, Decimate, is the opener to this album, and once again, I think the opener songs to the albums, or the first one on there, is always one of the best ones because it's a good way to get yourself into the album and see what it's about, and this song is great. It takes a long time to get into the drop, but it's got this really sick build-up, and this really cool picture. It's almost like a robotic dinosaur. I know it's a dinosaur because that's Excision's thing, is dinosaurs, but it's almost like a robot dinosaur, and it like talks about exterminating everyone, then the drop kicks in. It is so heavy, it's so sick. I love Excision's new style, like some of the newer tracks he did. Obviously, Unbound is my favorite Excision song, although that might change after this album. And Demisaur with Kaiwachi is another amazing track, and that one also is a, newer Excision style, and that one's amazing. So I was super excited to see what this new album had in terms of new Excision, and so far with this track, I'm liking what I'm hearing, so really sick stuff. The next track I just got done listening to is Heritage, and Excision with Hypnosis. This was a great one. I'm not too familiar with Heritage. I haven't really heard of him, but this is really sick. It's got almost like a Space Laces feel. It kind of reminds me of One on One from Apex, and there isn't a Space Laces song with Excision on here, which is kind of a shame because apart from the very first album he ever did, X-Rated, in 2011, every single Excision album has had a Space Laces song on it. The remixes, X-Rated had a Space Laces remix. Codename X had a song with Space Laces, Push It Up. Virus had Throwing Elbows. Apex had One on One, which is great, and Rumble as well. So this is the first album that he's did without a Space Laces collab since his first one. So I imagine Space Laces is just busy with his own thing, touring and stuff like that, so he probably didn't have time to make a song, which is fine. Maybe when they do a remixes, because I know they're going to do an Onyx remixes, because they always do remixes. Excision always does the remixes, so I'm sure that when he does the remixes, Space Laces will do a remix, which would be pretty cool. So yeah, but this track with Heritage, Hypnosis, very Space Laces-esque, kind of rhythmy and glitchy, but it's really sick, and I really enjoyed this one too. Next up, number 3, we have Our Fire with Excision and Sullivan King. The last time Excision and Sullivan King collab that I can remember was Unbound, and that is my favorite Excision song to date. Probably always will be, to be honest. But this is the next one with them, and as soon as it started, I knew this was going to be very similar to Unbound, and it was. This is actually like a very similar song to Unbound, so if you like the two of them together, but you don't really like Unbound, check this one out because it's very similar. A little bit longer too, but I thought this one was great. I like Unbound more. I thought that the lyrics were cooler, and the build-up and the drop was just cooler, especially the second half with the really heavy drop. That was awesome. But this one's great too. I really like it. Sullivan King, man, like I said, super talented guy. He's just awesome. His vocals here, where he's not screaming, are really, really good. He's got a really nice voice. So the two of them together and the melody here, it's great. It's a really cool song. They are a great pairing, and I'm really glad we got another track from the two of them, because this one is really sweet as well. Next track up after Our Fire is Osiris, another single, or another solo Excision song. This one, I love the build-up, and I love the guitar and the main part. It's so sick. I love the lead. It's really good. And then the drop, at first I was kind of like confused and like, okay, this is really awkward sounding. But the more it goes on, the more times it repeats, the more you're kind of like into it. And I found myself going, nodding a little bit to it. I think it's pretty good. This is one of those songs that I think it's going to take me a few listens to really get into, because the main build-up and the lead and the guitar is awesome, but then the drop is kind of like a little weird sounding, a little awkward, but maybe I'll just get a few more listens in, and then maybe it'll sound really good. But yeah, I like that a lot. I like the guitar. It's really cool. But yeah, this is an interesting song. Up next, we have The Last Elder, which is the next song after Osiris. And this song, when I first heard it, the beginning part of it, I'm like, okay, this sounds exactly like the Paradox. And it is kind of like the Paradox. It's kind of funny. Our Fire is very similar to Unbound, and this song, The Last Elder, is very similar to Paradox from Virus, which, if you guys know, is one of my favorite Excision songs. So I like the fact that it almost seems like he's kind of doing this intentionally, like he's redoing some of these songs, in a different way, especially The Last Elder, since, the Paradox is from 2016. That's pretty old. So this song is like a newer version of it, and it's really cool. I really liked it a lot. I love the whole, Excision loves these, epic prophecy, songs with, like, these huge these huge drops, and I think this one is definitely one of those. Really, really sick. I love the vocals in the beginning. Really, really cool, and the drop is really nice. I like the second part where he kind of splits it up and it goes like, it kind of goes like back and forth. It's really good, very cool sounding, and yeah, this song is really good too. So the next song we have is Cough Drop. It's actually called Cough Drop. Okay, Cough Drop. I don't know what the song was, to be honest. It was this I could see being a Space Laces song. This sounds like a Space Laces song. It's got that weird and quirkiness. I mean, it's called Cough Drop. There's samples of someone coughing. It's got this weird, like, echoing sample, like, woo. It's like, I don't know what it is, but it's very interesting to say the least. This is one of those songs that you could tell is kind of more like a joke song, or more like one of those like kind of funny, lighthearted songs. Maybe like he had a cough and he's like, you know what? I could turn this into a song. I don't know, but it's an interesting song. I like the first drop. The second drop kind of like breaks it down a little bit more, but I mean, it's an interesting little song. I thought it was pretty funny, so yeah, not too bad. Next up, we have End of the World with Dion Timmer and Donatella. I heard this song actually before the album came out. I listened to it as a single, and it was pretty good. I love these Excision songs that are more like epic and kind of they're more like serious. You could tell like this is more like a musically serious kind of song, if that really makes sense. I thought it was really cool. Dion Timmer is awesome. He's collabed with Excision tons of times, and Donatello with the vocals, really, really amazing. So yeah, I thought this song was very cool. This is the first song, like I said, that came out before the album, I'm pretty sure. And I thought it was really good. I really like this song. Next track is Back to Life with Sarah DeWarren, and I like Excision because he kind of has like 3 types of songs. He's got the solo songs that he does, which are always very epic and like, you know, they always have very hard drops. The collab songs he does with other dubstep producers like Kompany, Space Laces, you know, Datsick and Downlink back in the day, that are always more like a mix of their 2 styles. And then he has these songs with like vocalists, like this one with Sarah DeWarren, End of the World, another one here, Salvation. I think there's one from Virus too that he did. I forgot. I think it's called Drowning. He likes to collab with these vocalists and do these kind of more. They're kind of more like Millennium kind of songs. They're like a little more sad and melancholy, you know, and the drops are pretty cool. But I like these songs. You can't always make super heavy, you know, rip into you bangers like that. You gotta switch it up and work with some vocalists. I think it's really nice. I thought this song was pretty interesting. I like this. And Sarah DeWarren, amazing. She did really cool. I thought it was great. So the next track after that one is Demisor with GriimYT, which was released before this album came out back in 2021. I listened to it. If this song had come, if I had heard this song before I made my Excision video, I would have put this at number 2. This is my second favorite Excision song. I think all the other ones that I have in the video, The Paradox, Generator, Virus, all those songs are great. This song is such a banger, man. I love this song so much. GriimYT is awesome, and the drop, man, it just really rips in, man, and especially the second half where it just goes in and in and in. It's just, you can't help but headbang to it, man, and I think it's awesome. I love the part in the middle too with the dinosaurs names. It's really cool. I think this is Excision really showing his love for dinosaurs. That's really what this song is. No, but it's a really awesome song and definitely one of my favorites from Excision. So I'm glad he put it in the album because it's awesome. Okay, so first of all, I just realized my gain was a little too high. I turned it up on accident, so sorry about that. But after that, we have Clockwork with Excision and Big Boy Kompany. We didn't get a Space Laces track on here. I was a little disappointed on that, but I like Kompany, so I was like, okay, this is going to be sick too. This might be my favorite song on here so far. Demisor, I would say, is my favorite song just because, you know, it came out before the album actually came out, but this is my favorite original song from the album, man. Kompany is awesome. If any of you guys have any good Kompany songs, please send them my way, because Kompany's sick. I love his remix of Overdrive by Space Laces, and I love his remix. He's also worked with Excision before. He did a remix of a song with Excision and Wooly, Lockdown. That song is fire. So when I saw this, I was like, oh boy, this is going to be sick. This song is awesome. I love it, man. Super hard. Too short, in my opinion, man. I would have loved another drop. I think it's a little too short, but it is such a banger. I love this song. Excision and Kompany are such a great pair, and I'd love to see them work together again in the future. This song was kick-ass. So after Clockwork, we have Encounter with Dion Timmer. This song, I was expecting something completely different because all the songs with Excision and Dion Timmer, they're more like, they got a lot of vocals, a lot of singing, and they're more like melody based, but this is an actual, like, this is a banger, man. It rips in. I love the drop. It's so sick. I like the fact that they collabed and they didn't do something, you know, where it was all about singing and it had this, you know, this melody to it. I like the fact that they collabed and they did something super heavy, something different. I thought this was such a great track. I love the drop. It's super visceral sounding and it's kind of clean. It's got these, they almost sound like a like a rusty door slam, and it's got this really weird lead in there, but it's so kick-ass. Really cool track here. So the next track up is Salvation with Dion Timmer again and Alexis Dawn. This was also pretty cool. Very similar to End of the World. I love these kind of songs from Excision because, like I said, Excision is known for his super headbanging and rip into kind of songs with these really heavy drops. But then he tones it back and he goes in with these super, like, I guess you could say more feeling kind of songs and more lyric-based songs. They're really good. I like that these are included on the album. It's really cool. And I think Alexis Dawn, great once again with the vocals. Really amazing job. And Dion Timmer again is awesome. Really cool song. So the next track up is Run This. And this song actually kind of cracked me up at the beginning because it's got this really funny like beginning that you would see on one of those like meditation relaxation DVDs, and then it slowly like talks about going into madness and chaos, which is pretty funny, and then it goes into the drop, which is really kick-ass. I kind of like how these songs have these really like long intros, and then it goes into like the drop instead of just having the drop right there. It's kind of cool. Builds up a little bit. It builds up the tension, I guess you could say, and the drops are really sick. Like I said, Excision's new style is awesome, and this song is an example of that too. I think this is really, really cool, and I like this song. Alright, after Run This, we got Plague Doctor. This song is very different from the rest of the album, and you'd have to hear it to see what I'm talking about. This song, when I first heard like the build up and then the drop, this sounds exactly like a WWE opening theme, like a intro theme to like a wrestler. That's what this reminded me of. Like this, you could see being played to like a wrestler walking out. It's so epic, and it's not a good song because of the super heavy drop, but it makes you headbang. It's a really good song because it makes you feel like a beast. It makes you feel powerful. It kind of like gets you ready, locked in. This is a great song to play if you're like going to the gym or you're going to school or something, like to get you ready for what you got to in store for that day or something like that. It's really, really cool. Nothing too super heavy, but I thought it was really sick. You could see this being played to like Brock Lesnar or like a wrestler walking out. I think it'd be really sick. But yeah, really cool track here. I really enjoyed this one. So next up we have Temporary Blue with Excision and Natalie Major. And like I said, I love that Excision collabs with these vocalists because they produce some really great stuff, man. Not only Natalie Major, but Sarah DeWarren, Alexis Dawn, even Sullivan King. When Excision collabs with these vocalists, and that's more like dubstep producers in general, they can create some really great stuff, and this is just another example of that. I love the vocals here. I like this song better than Back to Life. I love the vocals here. I love the sound and the drop. It's so chilled out, and it really puts you in a nicer place. It's really great. Very, very cool song, and these vocalists, man, are so talented, so I love that Excision works with them. Yeah, this is a really nice song. I really like this one. Alright, second to last song here is Reborn. Pretty short one, 3 minutes and 4 seconds. This one's kind of cool too. I like the beginning, and I think it's kind of interesting, the vocals talking about being reborn, and then it says welcome to Subsidia. So I think this is Excision's way of kind of rebirthing his record label. He used to be Rotten Recordings, and now it is Subsidia, which has signed a lot of big artists and has released a lot of great tracks. So I think it's kind of cool how he's rebirthed his whole record label and created a new one, and this song's very good too. I really like it. Very cool drop. I think it's pretty nice. The build-up's good. A little short, but you know what? I think it's kind of cool that way, and yeah, good song. So the final track on the album, the last song here, is the shortest one by a long shot, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, a little tiny song, and it's called Crusher. But boys, this one does not hold back at all. It's super short, but man, this one is kick-ass. This is one of my favorites for sure. I really like this track a lot. The build-up is awesome. The drop goes really hard. It goes back, rips in. Sounds so clean, and with the sweeps and the sub too. Oh man, amazing one here. I really like this track a lot. This one's kick-ass, and I thought it was a great way to end that album. I was kind of surprised that it was going to be really good because it was so short. I'm like, okay, maybe it's just a little short song to end off the album, but man, it is so cool, and I'm glad we ended off on a strong foot because this album as a whole is really great, and so is this song. So more thoughts on that right now. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the album done. Onyx by Excision. So what did I think overall? I loved it. I thought this was a fantastic album, definitely worth the wait, because obviously this album took a little bit longer because Virus came out Codename X came out 2015. Virus 1 year later. Apex comes out 2 years later. So this album came out 4 years later. So a little bit later, but it was definitely worth the wait. You could tell the time it took to make all these songs. They are awesome. I talked about all of them. I will go through my favorite ones because what I did was I added the ones I really liked to my playlist, of course. And those tracks are Decimate, Hypnosis, Osiris the Last Elder, Clockwork, Encounter, Run This, Plague Doctor, Temporary Blue, and Crusher. So those tracks are my personal favorite from the album. I thought those 10 were great. So Demisor is also really good too, but obviously that one came out before the album. But yeah, the rest of the songs are good, but those 10 are my personal favorites from the album. Those 10 are awesome. But yeah, I thought this album was great. Like I said, the one thing I really was hoping for was a collab with Space Laces, because I love Space Laces so much. I just wanted another Space Laces song. But I imagine Ian's busy, either touring or maybe making his own stuff. Who knows? But I could definitely predict that there's going to be a remixes album of this album, Onyx. There's going to be an Onyx remixes, because Excision has done that for pretty much every album he's made. X-Rated, Codename X, I think he did it. Virus, all these albums he did remixes for. So I'm sure that there's going to be some remixes of stuff from this album, and when that comes out, I'll definitely check it out too. But I would suggest definitely go listen to this. Like I said, I didn't put any of the songs in this video because I didn't really want to get copyrighted or claimed or anything like that. I just wanted my thoughts out there, and I want you guys to listen to the album yourself and form your own opinion. Really, just don't go by me, because that's what music's about. It's an art form, so you go by your opinion. If there's songs in here you like and I didn't, that's great. So I highly suggest you listen to this album. It is so kick-ass. Very, very good job, Excision, and all the other people who helped him. And yeah, I think if I had to highlight one song on here, or like one track that I really, really enjoyed, probably Clockwork. I'm getting really into Kompany, I'll tell you what. Kompany's awesome, and when I saw that he collabed with Excision on a track, I was like, alright, you know what? No Space Laces, but Kompany is kick-ass too, and that song is a beast. I love it. So that's probably my favorite song, I would say. But yeah, the rest of the album was great. I really enjoyed it. Go check it out in the description. Awesome stuff from Excision. And yeah, thank you all for watching the video. See you all later. Peace.